Right. Yeah. Well, um, it goes back. Yesterday when we visited the Greek Orthodox Church, and the priest was discussing specific things. I was thinking, and one of the things I haven't been able to reconcile with religion is the truth, and we know that all the different religions and groups all claim that they know the truth. And what I haven't been able to reconcile is how is that? How can so many people be wrong? Because if one group claims they know the truth, um, then everyone else is wrong. And at some point, if that's the case, then one group is right and everyone else is wrong. And I haven't been able to really put that together in my head. And this is an answer I've sought for my entire life. And the interesting thing about it is that, all right, so if everybody's right, then everybody's wrong. So what I've discovered is that um, what sets humans apart from every other animal, and there's several answers. People say we can speak, we can communicate, we can solve problems, we can paint, we can create things, and all those things are true. But what the fundamental principle of what it all boils down to is that humans have an ability to artistically express universal knowledge. Okay, so when we talk about a memory or something that we have in our brain, we have a friend of ours that is painting a sea turtle for us to hang in our home. And when she is painting this sea turtle, where does that image come from? And people would say in her brain, but it's not in her brain. The image is not in her brain. There is no file. There's no picture. There's no nothing. Your brain is nothing but water and chemicals and tissue. And so we have to understand that image is a part of a universal consciousness, or that it's shared information. It's atomically shared information at an atomic level or subatomic level even. I mean, it's something more than we can explain, but we all draw upon it for creative purposes. So we draw upon this universal consciousness that's it's something that we're all connected to. It's there. And that's how we draw the image out. And so this is what we do when we paint, for example. But when we speak, it's our artistic interpretation of our thoughts, of this universal knowledge. And so what I'm doing for you right now is I am trying to articulate my interpretation of what I know, and that's exactly what an artist does. Every time we speak, that's what we do. When we build a building, I think this is how we can reconcile that there are pyramids in multiple places of the world that were built around the same time period with very little communication that we know of. A lot of the mythological figures are similar, and a lot of the art is similar, and that kind of thing. And I think it draws on this universal knowledge, and so that's what we do. So back to the original point. What religion and dogma is, and scripture even, is the artistic interpretation of the universal knowledge. And when we began looking at religious figures and icons and through mythology in the various religions with Hinduism and the Greek gods and the Roman mythology and Native American spirits and these Krishna and Judaism God, Jesus, all of these things have and when we get into Christianity and some of the Western religions, the angels and those type things, all of these figures embody specific characteristics, and so they're all created. I don't want to say they're all. I don't want to say fabrications because that gives a negative context, and that's not what I mean. They're all artistic interpretations of these particular characteristics and traits. So when we begin to strip the labels away because they're just descriptions and try to really focus on what's important, we get down to the same concepts. We get down to the different emotions and angers of love and fear and hate and violence and compassion and all of these spirits and angels and demons. They all embody these things, and it comes down to that they're battling each other for the constant battle, and it comes down to good and evil, and it comes down to we take away the God and the devil, and we come down. What it comes down to is the battle between love and fear. The fear drives all negative emotions. It drives all anger and violence, and it's all out of fear. Fear is an animalistic emotion. It is not connected to the divine. It's not connected to this universal knowledge that we're speaking of. It is of this world. The fears of this world. It's a physical thing from predator to prey, so it's of this world. The other, the collective consciousness, the collective knowledge that I was speaking of, is derived from something divine. It's from a divine source, and I don't have that particular answer right now, and I don't know that I ever will. This is an eternal debate, but the point is that the collective consciousness, the God energy, Christ, that energy is divinely inspired. It's a collective knowledge that we're drawn upon. So these angels and then these gods and demigods and then the scripture, they're all descriptions of these things, and that's the fundamental truth. Sadly, human beings have a way or an inability to understand that, or an unwillingness even to understand what I've just said, and they tend to take things literal. They explain them from a literal standpoint, and ironically what it does is it creates more division, it creates more animosity, and so it's less than divine. It's I think to literally interpret so many things as they are is less than divine. It's part of the evil winning. It's part of the darkness. It's the animalistic view of things. It's simplicity. I mean, a dog is just a dog. It just eats and it gets angry and it fights back. And to be able to take dogma and scripture and to minimize it, to use that against other people and to prove that your point is correct is missing the point entirely. To be able to yell at other people, say you're doing it wrong and you're damned to hell or condemned and or you deserve to die, or whatever the case may be, is rooted in the fear, which is the evil, which is the manifested as the devil or demons and that kind of thing, and it's just more of the same. So I think we need to focus on the common fundamental aspects. We all want to be safe. We all want to be loved. We all want to be understood. I mean, if this is the human artistic expression, speaking and painting and writing, communicating is all artistic expression of some consciousness that we're tapped into, then we all want to be understood. We all want people to say, yeah, I identify that. So unity is the answer. Is to be able to look at someone and say, okay, okay, I get it. But and take it a step farther. What's the good here? What are how do you benefit? How does someone else benefit? How can I benefit? How can what I believe benefit you? And opens a real dialogue. And I believe that should be and was probably the fundamental point of every single religion that has been founded, with the exception of a few, I think, that are intentionally dark. We're not talking about that. We're talking about there's an exception to every rule, so I don't want to nitpick and argue certain things with that. But I think the point is that we need to find a way to open the dialogue and start discussing the things that we have in common more than the things that we have different. And when we do that, that's where we're going to find the truth. So it was kind of a long-winded answer, but I hope maybe I was able to artistically express